going on, guys? My name is Tommy. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another episode of Wednesday Afternoon Worship. Today, at the request of Cue the Sounds of Samurai and Lasers and Stuff Kane, Interplanetary Samurai, we're cracking open Bestiary 4, and we're going to talk about Cthulhu. It's the first time in a while we've had a god with stats. If it breeds, we can try to kill it, but it's CR 30. That's a spoiler. And we're going to homebrew some obedience. We're going to homebrew some paladin codes. It's going to be the best ever. If you feel like succumbing to madness and dying, or, if you feel like there's a deity out there you might like to see covered, throw it in the comments. We'll get right on it. Remember, patronage lets you cut to the front of the line. Today, this video was brought to you in part by the man who requested it, Interplanetary Samurai. Or, Justin, or Nathanos, or the elf who deserves no name because he can't athletics check to save his mortal soul over at Doomsday Dawn. Follow this card right up here, by the by, if you haven't caught up on our coverage of the Pathfinder playtest, because we're having a lot of fun. I don't want you to miss out, but for now, let's dive in. Alright, where even do we begin? I've wanted to talk about Cthulhu for a long time. On Wednesday Afternoon Worship, he was going to come around the beginning because it's one of my favorite deific creatures in all of Pathfinder, all of sci-fi, horror, and fantasy. Of course, he's a fictional cosmic entity, if we can call him, created by the writer H.P. Lovecraft and first introduced in The Call of Cthulhu in 1928. Oh, Cthulhu's almost 100 years old. Dang. Within the pantheon of Lovecraftian cosmic stuff, he's considered a great old one. He's been featured, pretty much all over the place, depicted as a octopus, a dragon, and a caricature of the human form just kind of slapped together to make this super ugly thing. And he's so popular that that's the name given to the Lovecraft-inspired universe from whence he came, the Cthulhu mythos. Literally, this dude is all over the place. We talked about it on Monday when we talked about the Deep One Hybrid, and hey, follow this card right up here if you want to get caught up with, more spooky Cthulhu stuff. Call of Cthulhu, the darkest quarters of the earth, mentions him, though he does not appear. Call of Duty Black Ops 3, World of Warcraft, Terraria, and, the Pathfinder role-playing game. In Pathfinder, Cthulhu appears amongst several, especially as of the entire Strange Eons adventure path, where a new one was printed with every issue of the AP, and Bestiary 6 of his fellow great old ones. But he's the strongest of them, and actually, let's shake it up a little. Let's start with his character sheet before we start talking about domains and stuff, shall we? This dude is CR 30, literally the strongest thing in terms of CR. In Pathfinder 1st Edition, killing this dude nets you almost 10 million experience points. That's enough to level you twice from 1 to 20 if you're on the slow chart. And he's got just so much he can do. Again, as always, we're not going to talk about every individual spell-like ability or like his spell resistance or whatever. Oh, by the way, it's 41. Yeah, it's real high. But we will talk about all of his special abilities because they're super spooky. We will begin with his aura. Out to 300 feet, Cthulhu has an unspeakable presence. Fail a DC 40 will save against this dude, and you immediately die of fright, just on the spot. It's a death and fear effect, and a creature immune to fear that fails this save is staggered for a D6 rounds instead of killed. The save is charisma based, but in a lot of games, though I'll talk about what I had to do later, because I have in fact used Cthulhu as an encounter, that will kill a lot of people outright. The fighters are gone. The fighters are wiped off the face of the earth. Anybody who neglected their wisdom, just poof, no more. Cthulhu has several attacks, up to and including a pair of claws, and a single attack from one of Cthulhu's claws can target all creatures in a 10-foot square. You make one attack roll. Any creature in the area whose AC is equal to or lower than the result takes damage from the claw, so we've got little mini fireballs in our hands. Of course, Cthulhu, as a spooky Cthulhu monster, can survive in the void of outer space, and he flies through outer space at incredible speeds. Although the exact travel time, of course, varies from one trip to the next, a trip within a solar system, so like from Octurne to Galerion, normally takes about 2d6 hours, and a trip beyond normally takes about 2d6 days, yeah. Of course, Cthulhu, as a creature of strange madness, does not exist wholly in the physical world, and space and time strain against his mere presence. This grants Cthulhu a deflection bonus to AC and racial bonus on reflex saves, equal to his charisma modifier, which is plus 12. His apparent and actual position are never quite the same, and that grants him a 50% mischance against all attacks. True Seeing can beat this, but any creature that looks upon Cthulhu while it's got True Seeing has to make a DC 40 will save or be afflicted by a random insanity. Break out your horror adventures, kids. Suddenly we're all going to have the urge to drop everything and go shopping. Yeah, we'll get there. Just hold up. Also, Cthulhu's tentacles are primary attacks. That's relevant. Moving on, if you manage to kill this thing, his body immediately fades away into a noxious cloud of otherworldly vapor that fills an area out to his reach. This cloud blocks vision as per obscuring mist, but it can't be dispersed by any amount of wind. Any creature in the area must succeed at a DC 45 Fortitude save, or be nauseated for as long as it remains in the cloud, an additional 1d10 rounds after it leaves. After 2d6 rounds, Cthulhu returns to life, manifesting from the cloud, as per True Resurrection, but he's staggered for 2d6 rounds. If slain again, while he's staggered from this effect, Cthulhu reverts to vapor again, and his essence fades away after 2d6 rounds, returning to his tomb in Rulia until he is released again until your next campaign, basically, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, the save is of course con-based. Now, I said we wouldn't talk about his spells or spell-like abilities, but it's relevant to know that Cthulhu, of course, can cast the spell Nightmare at will. When Cthulhu uses his Nightmare spell-like ability on a creature with one or more ranks in a craft or perform skill, oh, I had a bard in the party. It was amazing, and a lot of people with craft as well. It was the best. He also inflicts the creature with maddening dreams, in addition to the effects of Nightmare, that being no rest, no spells back, and also, a d10 of damage. That's fun. The target has to succeed at a DC 40 will save or contract a random insanity. Again, break out your horror adventures. It's a mind-affecting effect, and if you already have an insanity, you're immune. That save DC is charisma-based. So yeah, this dude on and off the battlefield is terrifying. Also, as you might have guessed, he is chaotic evil. His domains are chaos, evil, madness, and void. His subdomains, dark tapestry, insanity, nightmares, and stars. His favorite weapon is the dagger, and his symbol, a complex rune surrounding an open eye. I almost forgot about this one, so I'm adding it in post. That does come from In Search of Sanity, Book 1 of the Strange Eons Adventure Path. No creepy octopus head emblems for you. Nope. Get the open eye. Back to your content. And now we dive into the realm of the Homebrew. To perform Cthulhu's deific obedience, expend an hour every day, in secret if you must, devising some way of making Cthulhu notice you as an insignificant speck in the fabric of time. You, of course, will have to go to great lengths, but if you have not legitimately tried to attract the Great Old One's attention, your obedience is incomplete. Once you have the Great Old One's attention, simply wait until he casts Nightmare on you. When the time comes to make the will save versus the insanity, voluntarily fail the save. What happens then is entirely up to the GM in terms of what madness you get, how terrible it is, how horrible it is for the campaign, but, we have to be a little insane to worship this dude, right? Yeah, of course. In return, you may add your charisma modifier as a deflection bonus to your AC. Evangelist boons give us Nightmare 3 times a day, Feeble Mind twice a day, or once a day, Symbol of Insanity. At 16th level, you gain a fraction of the Great Old One you worship's power, and when you successfully use your Nightmare spell-like ability, or cast Nightmare, on a creature with 1 or more ranks in Craft or Perform, that creature must make a second will save equal to 10 plus half your level plus your charisma, or be affected by an insanity of your choice. And at 20th level, your close encounters with the Great Old One have made you immune to lesser things that tear at the minds of normal, weak mortals. You gain immunity to all mind-affecting effects that come from any creature without the Great Old One template, True Seeing, and spell resistance equal to 11 plus your level. Exalted boons grant us Control Weather 3 times a day, twice a day, Antipathy, or once a day, Implosion. That seems really powerful, but Antipathy is not that crazy of a spell. Yeah, no, it'll be fine. At 16th level, your hands transformed into 2 draconic-looking claws. The casual passerby might think that you are some kind of creature with a draconic bloodline, but you know better. You gain 2 claw attacks. They are primary attacks that deal 1d8 points of damage, and a number of times per day equal to half your level. As a standard action, you can make a single attack with one of your claws that targets all creatures in a 10-foot square. At 20th level, your visage transforms into something truly horrific beyond the minds of lesser mortals. You gain 4 tentacle attacks that deal 1d8 points of damage, plus grab, a fly speed of 200 feet with average maneuverability, a swim speed of 60 feet, and a bonus to your natural armor equal to half your level. How these individual things manifest is entirely up to you, but they always appear alien and horrific. All creatures that look upon you are nauseated, with a fort save to negate DC 10 plus half your level, plus this time your con modifier. Probably a little better for someone who's just trying to punch things in the face. I digress. Sentinel boons grant us Dream 3 times a day, Greater Dispel Magic twice a day, or once a day, Greater Teleport. At 16th level, your lungs, or whatever organ you use to breathe, shrivel and wither away. You can survive in the void of outer space and no longer need to breathe air to survive. Your type changes to aberration. Really, I think all of these need to do that. So yeah, quick renege. All of these, at 16th level, your type changes to aberration, and you gain the ability to fly through the void of space at a speed equal to double your base speed. At 20th level, you no longer age. You become immune to effects that would age you, and you no longer die when your character reaches maximum age. If you are killed, your body fades away into noxious vapor. All creatures caught in the vapor, as per Obscuring Mist, must succeed at a fort save equal to 10 plus half your level plus your charisma modifier, or become nauseated for as long as they remain in the cloud, and a d10 rounds after they leave the area. Your soul, on the other hand, is teleported instantaneously to a pocket dimension. You come back to life in 2d6 days as per True Resurrection. The pocket dimension is capable of sustaining you, but no one else. Every time you use this ability after the first, there is a cumulative 10% chance that when you die, your body instead simply fades away and your soul goes to its final judgment. And we're chaotic evil, so of course we gotta have that Anti-paladin code. I should have pinged Michael Baker for this one. Michael, if you're out there, sorry, been super busy, but I have a really good idea for this one. Cthulhu's Anti-paladin code is one simple tenet, written in Aclo. If you can't speak Aclo, that's fine. You can speak it in common until your weak, frail mortal self learns to speak the proper language. In our tongue, in his house at Earlia, dead Cthulhu waits dreaming. In Aclo,
Sunday, Tegol Nifa, Cthulhu, Raye, Waganagal, Futagan.
I probably butchered that. I'm sorry to all my native Aclo-speaking subscribers and friends out there. If you can do it better, record it, shoot it at me. We'll put it all over the video. I'll literally take it down, put yours on top. You can be featured on the video, but I digress. The Great Old Ones played a huge role in the only campaign I've ever played front to back, and Cthulhu was going to be the boss fight. And boss fight he well and truly was, but I, as you might expect, after watching some of my min-maxing videos, or if you know me personally, often play with a lot of min-maxers, and so to see if this was going to be even remotely challenging to people in the party, I decided to take Cthulhu's save or die within 300 feet off him, put literally all of his stats on just a giant statue, and have the party fight him. They killed him in 2 rounds. Paladins are scary. Paladin Uberchargers are scarier. The damage is real bad. I miss the multipliers. I need to play an Ubercharger again in Pathfinder 1st Edition. That just has to happen. But yeah, Cthulhu is a testament to the fact that in Pathfinder 1st Edition, an optimized party can often come out on top, and it's always relevant to know as a GM what the big 6 items are. That is to say, your magic weapon, magic armor, ring of protection, amulet of natural armor, belt, headband that buffs your relevant mental scores, because that's what we had to do, well and truly. We had to put the big 6 on him. We had to put 20 Anti-paladin levels on him. Yeah, my party's scary. Uberchargers are scary, but that fight was good. I did manage to kill the fighters with that saver die, and the Arcanist died to the cleaving claws of Cthulhu. Say that 10 times fast. Cleaving claws of Cthulhu.
Cleaving claws of Cthulhu. Cleaving claws of Cthulhu.
Eventually, of course, the paladins smote them some evil and ran it down, as they are wont to do. But it was amazing. The whole campaign was amazing. I could go on forever talking about if I were to play a game and it was going to be about Cthulhu, this is how I'd do it. But to be honest, it makes me just a little nostalgic. Anywho, if you want to worship Cthulhu, as a player, I feel it's relevant for you to know that you're worshiping something that doesn't care about your existence, will devour your soul if given the chance, and also like your fleshy bits too. And that's really fun roleplay. Most of the evil gods in Pathfinder, classically speaking, at least like care about their minions. In Cthulhu's case, no, you're an ant. And when Cthulhu wakes up, you will be destroyed forever. So there's definitely a lot of like mental disorders that can be roleplayed there, because nobody in their right mind is going to choose that kind of a deity as their deity. And I'll say again, don't be afraid to break out your copy of Horror Adventures. Dig through the insanities that are present in that book because they're spicy, and I think it's totally fair as a GM to make these things happen to you, contract random insanities. Most of them are just fun, some of them are pretty brutal. Some of them literally give you the urge to just become randomly obsessive about one thing, and that happened once upon a time when we all were playing together, and I would privately message on Messenger, like, this is your insanity, this is what's happening to you. And Joe and I watched somebody's character have the impulsive urge to go shopping in a burning city, and we all just needed to know if their insanity was diva. Regardless, the roleplay was really, really good. 10 out of 10 would recommend. But what do you guys think about Cthulhu? How do you feel, again, about the Elder Mythos in your Pathfinder? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Have you fought Cthulhu? Have you worshipped Cthulhu? Anything in between? As always, throw it in the comments. We'll keep that conversation going. But that's all we have for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and again, be sure to like and subscribe for more videos. Assuming the patrons don't cut the line, we've got not one but two core deities coming up down the line. First up, it's Urgathoa. It drops next Wednesday.